Hello class. For this cycle, I've just decided to take my work I've done in previous cycles and just summarize it in this. So what I've done is I created a web interface for my tools that I've created before. I've created 5 tools before, but I was able to put 3 of them that makes sense to be running from a web page. The other ones require to do some cron job editing and so on. So in the meantime, I didn't bother to put them in. Um, the 3 tools I am including in the web interface are the IP locator, which basically you give an IP address, and then the script will crawl the network and find where that IP is plugged into. So what device and what building and what campus and so on. The other one is the IP watcher and MAC watcher. These are the 2 scripts I use to watch for the presence of a specific IP address or MAC address for a lost or stolen laptop, for any activity like police require us to watch something. So I put all these 3 scripts in a single interface. There's minimum changes on the scripts, so really I didn't have to go through them again. The same before, they are written in Perl. The only difference this time I used the Perl CGI module to be able to pass parameters from the web page or HTML to the Perl script and to be able to print the returns. The web page, I've just chosen basic web server. I used Apache server. So the scripts will get called via a get method from the HTML code, and the return will be displayed as a text to the browser. Why I'm interested is pretty much putting these tools and give the opportunity for more people to use them. For example, our help desk. I don't want our help desk to have access to the password coded into the scripts, for example, that have access to routers and switches and so on. I don't want them to be able to see where my log file and everything is kept. So the help desk people most of the time are contractors. So this will minimize the surface of attack on us by basically providing them this web page where they can only execute certain parameters and they will get the results via the web page or an email. And in this case, so the 3 tools, the first tool, once they enter an IP address, it will be able to return to them and say, hey, this IP is connected to this switch and provide all the good information about it. For the Mac Watch and IP Watch, once they run the tool will be running with tail-f on the back end. And once the MAC address or IP address show up on the network, it will send an email to a specific email address that we created. So it will auto-generate a ticket in our ticketing system. So all they have to do is to put IP, hit enter. It will go ahead and send the stuff in the back end. It will generate a ticket in our system, and then that basically will help automate this task. So the changes in the Perl scripts, as I said before, is very minimal. So I basically included the CGI module. I found that the easy way, and most of the time that's the easy way to do anything with HTTP web pages and Perl to basically interact with a client side programming and server side. So in this case, HTML is my client side, Perl is my server side, and this is how I'm doing the calls. The HTML code is also very basic. I'm not really big on HTML and web design and so on, so I really whip the best I can do in this short period of time. So the way I've called the scripts, I've just used the get method, and I pass the scripts on forms as an action. So once you enter the information, you hit go, the form will go ahead and execute the script, and we'll take the parameters as input for the script and they send it to the back end, and the return will be displayed. Requirements. So these are not requirements, but this is my testing environment. So I know these scripts will work if you have Linux box, for example. I've used CentOS 7, and you have Perl 5.14 or greater on version wise. You need to have Perl with CGI module installed. So without CGI modules, you keep getting internal server error. So that will just keep going. And the only way for you to get it going is to install the CGI module. I use also Apache web server, and I use 2.4.6. So anything I think at that level or higher version can do the job. So the script located in the certain directory, that's only for my testing, and the web page is located in this directory. So all the scripts will set to execute, basically like before, so they need to execute. From network perspective, the requirement is the same as before. Basically, for the IP locator, you need to have a proper username and password to the switches and routers and firewalls and so on for all network gear. Also, basically, you need to enable SSH to these devices as well. And on this slide here, basically, I'm displaying the interface I've created. So as I said before, it's really basic. So it's a web interface that shows the three tools listed here, and the IP locator tool, the watch for IP, and watch for MAC, and each one of them on the back end, based on when you click find it or watch it, it will call the specific script, and it will pass the parameters or whatever you write in these boxes back to the script, and the result should be displayed. So, but for the presentation, what I did is basically I have tested the first tool, the IP locator, and here we go. This is the result of running the tool on an IP address 10.17.182.45. So basically, the tool ran my IP locator script, and it located for me exactly where that IP address is plugged into, which building, what the VLAN number, MAC address is, and pretty much now I know the location of that IP address. So, and this is plain text return, as I said before. That's why it doesn't look like fancy or anything. My future directions, well, I have other scripts that I've been using for a while, total of 17 scripts beside the 5 I've created in this class. So I will not work on the interface anymore. I will just pass it to a specific DevOps team who deal with the web, and they will make it better and so on. So I will no longer continue on this topic on my last cycle. So I'll try to do something new. Um, the main direction will be for all these tools to become production ready. So they will be in a proper web page. They will be designated with a specific access. So with specific people from help desk from certain machines can access the web page, because basically you can get a lot of good information using these tools, and you don't want everyone to have access to them. And to find a better way to format returns. So for me, I've used basically what I know on top of my head right now. I didn't do a lot of research on the way we handle returns and how we can make it maybe more prettier or more specific to send the stuff to another email, do duplicates and so on. I didn't look into that area yet. And with that being said, I think that will be it for these tools together. And for my next cycle, I will probably do some different topics, since that will be my last cycle. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, even though it's very basic set of tools, very basic interface, but I think it's very handy. And right now, basically, it will help on my day-to-day job activities. And that's it for me. Thank you, guys.